launching it at the 41. What a hit! Ball's free, on the ground. South Carolina deserves to have it.
Seth Rollins just curb stomped Randy Orton.
And with that curb stomp, the future is now.
All right, guys, welcome to the 5-Star Podcast. Nathan Lyttle here with my special guest co-host. You may have seen him a few times. Wave to your mom. Wave to your mom.
Hi, Mom. If I'm a special guest, that doesn't say much about the people you've had on this show and will have on this.
So far, we've had Jake the Snake, and you're not special compared to Jake the Snake.
That's what
That's
I thought.
But something that was special was last night, that home run derby.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, I'm a baseball guy. I love baseball, and I've always been intrigued with the home run derby because it's always exciting. That's why people watch, to see the long ball. But last night, that's as excited as I've been watching anything other than a postseason game, baseball related, in a long time. The new rule, the new format, the time limit, it all just kind of added some drama. And you see Todd Frazier down a couple of home runs with a minute 45 seconds left, give or take, and comes back and ties the Jock Peterson of the Dodgers, and because of the rules, he got 30 extra seconds and was able to win it in a walk-off type home run deal. And it was exciting. And a lot of people on Twitter and social media that, they're not big baseball fans, they were excited. They were getting into it.
Here comes my favorite part here in a second. Oh, there it is. That is the championship
The World
title.
Championship belt.
All right. But moving on from that, we've also got someone here that wants to talk to you guys that is really pumped about what happened last night, and that is Mr. Barry Larkin. How's it going, Barry?
We were really concerned about the weather up here in Cincinnati, and then Todd Frazier brings it home like he did last night. The fans went absolutely bananas last night.
Barry, a lot of people were concerned last night entering the home run derby about the time limit, the new bracket-style format, but a lot of your casual fair-weather fans seem to get really excited. What did last night in the new format style of the home run derby do to these fair-weather casual baseball fans?
Well, I think it was exciting, and I think the fact that they actually took 1 minute away from the rounds. They were originally going to make the rounds 5 minutes, but because there was rain in the area, and they expected the rain to come down right after the All-Star or after the home run derby, which it actually did, they took it down to 4 minutes. So I think it made it held the attention of the casual fan, and it's probably going to be a format they're going to go forward with. It really turned out well. It was nice in the stands to see it. I watched the home run derby from home. I watched it from in the stands, and this certainly was probably the best one. Well, not only because Todd Frazier won it in dramatic fashion, but because it wasn't as drawn out as some of the others in the past.
And Barry, you're a big Cincinnati guy. What do you think it means for an event like this to come to the Great American Ballpark?
Well, it's a sense of pride for me. Being from Cincinnati, my first All-Star game that I played in was in 1988 here in Cincinnati. I remember the buzz in the city at that time. I remember standing on the sidelines and being introduced with Chris Sabo. I remember the massive ovation and the enthusiasm within the city and the preparation for the city and what it meant for the city. And the city was abuzz for months and months after that All-Star game. So it's just a sense of pride. The most important thing, at least at what we've been able to do so far, has been able to show off some of the wares of Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati has really done a nice job. The city itself, a lot of new businesses in Cincinnati, a lot of new construction that has been on display. The city has been, it's looked fantastic. So it's a sense of pride, it's a source of energy, and people look at Cincinnati. Many people have commented to me and said they've never been to Cincinnati before, but they really enjoy the city and enjoy the people here. So so far it's been a fabulous, fabulous turnout, and hopefully with the All-Star game, the culmination of the week, it'll be another great night for the city.
If you had one thing that you would, or maybe a couple things, if you'd like to change about the All-Star game or the format, what would that be?
Well, I certainly wouldn't have the All-Star game determine who gets home field advantage. I think that should go to the team that has the best record at the end of the season. It's about a 162-game season. I would like to see the rosters expanded. You don't have to play in the All-Star game, but if you're an All-Star, you should be denoted an All-Star. You should be recognized as an All-Star. I understand everybody wants to play, but everyone who should be an All-Star should be an all-star. There shouldn't be any snubs. There should be guys that are certainly deserving to be all-stars. They should be on the team. They should expand the rosters and just understand that everybody's not going to get a chance to play. But I didn't play in certain all-star games. I still was an all-star, and I was very proud to be an all-star. So you want to compete, but if you're an all-star, put them on the team because they certainly need to be recognized as all-stars.
You look at the core group of players now for the Cincinnati Reds, Barry, Joey Votto, Jay Bruce, Brendan Phillips. They made the playoffs back in 2012, had that 2-0 lead over the Giants in the division series. But what has been the biggest issue with this main core of guys holding them back from competing for more championships in the Central and throughout Major League Baseball?
I think you just have to make a determination if you have enough to win or not. If you have enough to win, then go get a piece or two to continue to kind of forge forward. And if not, then you're going to have to just blow it up. You have to eat some contracts. You made some decisions. You're going to have to just eat some money here and there. And you just got to move forward. Some tough decisions that are going to have to be made over this next few weeks, for sure.
Being from Cincinnati and having played your entire Hall of Fame career with the Reds, as a broadcaster and a commentator and an analyst, how difficult is it to keep your fan side part of you separate from your objective professional side when talking about the Reds?
Well, my rooting interest, I'm certainly a biased commentator. I make no qualms about that, and it's okay with me. And I think it seems that the different outlets are okay with it as well. But, I'm a Cincinnati Red. I'm from Cincinnati, and I always will be from Cincinnati. That's just the way it is. But one of the interesting things that I'm doing here is I partner with, you can see on my shirt, I partner with Maytag in Major League Baseball. Maytag's the official sponsor of Major League Baseball with the power to knock out Major League stains. And we're doing a program that's really glorifying guys going out there and getting nice and dirty. Brandon Phillips always in the dirt, getting himself dirty and making fantastic plays. Well, we're doing a program called The Filthiest Plays. Fans will get a chance to go online and vote at Twitter at Filthiest Plays, #FilthiestPlays, or online at MLB.com/Maytag. And vote on the filthiest plays. 3 plays each week. The chances fans are going to have a chance to go vote on. And at the end of the season, these fans that vote will enter into a sweepstakes and a contest. And the winner of that contest will get a VIP tour and 4 tickets to the World Series. So it's a pretty good program that we're part of. And Maytag is the official sponsor, the official washer of Major League washer and dryer of Major League Baseball. So great program to be part of. I'm happy to be partnering up with Maytag. I know Maytag is extremely excited about having a relationship with Major League Baseball. So it's a win-win situation. But getting back to my Reds thing, I'm a Red, and I always will be a Red. And just understand that's just what you're getting.
You mentioned making dirty plays, diving, getting dirty home runs, all the excitement that comes with playing baseball. And as a baseball guy, what is your take on this influx of young talent coming up through the minor leagues and all these young prospects appearing in Major League Baseball this year and the last couple of years? 26, I think it was, first-timers at the All-Star game. The game is in good hands, man. It was nice to see Anthony Rizzo, young Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Jock Peterson, just some young talent. The Futures game the day before, some great talent. Baseball is in some good hands, and fans will be entertained for many, many years.
Barry, what about some of these young guys for the Reds? They've had some, they've got some minor leaguers, some good young talent. Do you see anything coming up, or do you expect anything out of them maybe in the near future?
Well, you've seen a few guys get called up. There were 3 guys from the Reds that played in the Futures game, but there's a lot of young talent throughout the league, throughout the organization of the Reds, both on the mound and outfielders, infielders. So Cincinnati's going to be, they're going to have an influx of players, and there's some good players down the pipeline. So just stay patient with them for sure.
Last couple of weeks, the Reds have kind of distanced themselves from the leader of the pack in the Central, the Cardinals, and a lot of names being mentioned on the trade block: Johnny Cueto, Mike Leake, Aroldis Chapman, Jay Bruce. What do you see the Reds doing this week after the All-Star break in terms of being a seller or a buyer when it comes to the trade deadline?
Well, it really depends on what position they take. If they feel like they're buyers or sellers, I mean, if they think they have enough to win, then I expect them to hold on to those guys. If they think that they need to move on, expect to see a mass exodus. This is kind of crunch time. You think about the National League Central and some of the teams that they're competing against: St. Louis, Pittsburgh, even the Cubs. these guys are really good and they're very deep. And, you know, Cincinnati's going to have to make some tough decisions. This next week is going to be very important for them.
Thanks, Barry, for taking the time to talk with us. And now for Josh, you were out of town yesterday shooting a story for kind of a feature story, maybe?
Yeah, it's for basketball season. Once basketball kind of gets a little bit closer, because it's the summertime, it's a little slow for us in the sports department. So I wanted to get my interviews and some shots out of the way before we got really busy with football. And I went down to Harrogate, Tennessee, talked with Josh Schertz, the men's basketball coach at Lincoln Memorial. They're coming off arguably, or without question, the best season they've ever had. 30-3, their 4th straight trip to the regional semis in the Division II national tournament. But that's as far as they've ever been able to get, is the second round. And I asked him, you know, how can you kind of get past that point? He kind of said, you know, no, every team's different. This season has nothing to do with last year, and so on and so forth. And this is kind of what he had to say about evaluating how last season played out and ultimately ended at home.
Well, I mean, there's different reasons. Every season's different. You know, it's not like, you know, last season had any correlation to the previous season or the season before that. I don't think there's one issue you can finger point at. I think from our perspective, we have to look at it, and it was a great season that ended horribly. We played our 2 worst games of the season in our last 3 games. You know, so what you do there, it didn't work out the way we hoped, and you know, that's tough, right? That's life, and you have to go back to work, and you have to get better. That's
good stuff, Josh. And I know this time of year I'll watch the SportsCenter top 10 plays, and it seems like it's 6 double plays, 3 web gems in the outfield, and then 1 long tennis volley.
It's slow. It's slow.
So do you like getting out and doing these things over the summer and getting things like
this?
Yeah,
with not a whole lot going on as far as locally, it kind of allows us to be a little bit creative and kind of dig and find what sort of feature stories we can put together. Now, this one won't air until a little bit later in the year, like I said, closer to basketball season, but we can really, you know, kind of talk to coaches, players, and people in the communities and find out, you know, what's an interesting story we can come out and do, and it really allows us to do some things we may not necessarily have time to do during football, basketball seasons.
I mean, there's just tons of local stories here in the mountains. Got coming up after this quick little hit here. We've got some local music from a guy named Cody Morgan, fresh off the Country Music Highway Road to Fame competition. Should be good. Josh, thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate it. It's been fun.
We'll do it again.
Yes.
My problem is your love, I can't get enough of. I try, but I never succeed. I've tried to start over, but I'm still not over the things you've instilled in me. Forgive me the words and I'll leave on my own for this new life that I'm bound to find. Can you save me the time that it takes to get you off my mind? And can you show me a sign that this time I'm doing it right? Faith asks the questions, but time gives the answers when love is all that you know. Your eyes will see one thing, your heart feels another. You're lost out here on your own. My mind's overloading, but I still can't